The afternoon setting carried the weight of diplomacy, trade and technology as President Donald Trump addressed an audience gathered for what he described as an extraordinary moment in the Anglo-American alliance. His words echoed the theme of continuity and renewal, linking decades of shared history with new ambitions in energy, defence and science. Trump opened with a statement that encapsulated the scope of the occasion. It is the best in the world, biggest in the world here this afternoon for investing in the Anglo-American alliance, and you personify an important part of the unique national bond and really a world bond. What you've done is incredible. This was not merely rhetoric. It was a moment when Trump sought to underline the practical weight of the US-UK relationship. He pointed to the scale of trade and business between the two nations. Our two countries do a great deal of business together. $340 billion last year was the number, he said, before noting that in May, the United Kingdom became the first nation to formalise a trade agreement with the United States during his second term. We sort of wanted to make it the first because the bond is so strong and the relationship so long. That agreement will create billions of dollars in opportunities for American farmers to sell their products into the UK, reduce barriers to trade and give the US manufacturers better access to the UK's world-class aerospace supply chain, which really is world-class. The president lingered on that last point. He praised Britain's aerospace industry, describing it as a unique asset, often underestimated beyond its borders. A lot of people don't understand the importance of that particular asset that you have. It's a beautiful job you've done. From there, the speech pivoted toward defence and industrial strength. Trump framed the alliance not just as a matter of economic ties, but as the backbone of joint security. There's no more natural partnership in the world. Together, we're building up the industrial capacity of both of our countries, which is crucial to our defence, and we work so well together in defence. He explained that he had met with military leaders in the UK, many of whom he already knew by name. The meetings, he said, underscored the depth of cooperation across the Atlantic. But Trump did not stop at defence. He signalled the next logical step in partnership, a historic agreement on science and technology. So we're taking the next logical step with a historic agreement on science and technology partnerships, and this will create new government, academic and private sector cooperation in areas such as AI, which is taking over the world. At this point, Trump turned to the technology executives in the room. Looking at Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, he joked, "I'm looking at you guys. You're taking over the world, Jensen. I don't know what you're doing here. I hope you're right. All I can say is we both hope you're right." The list of fields he cited was ambitious: quantum computing, fusion energy, 6G telecommunications, and civil nuclear energy. He stressed that this agreement would align both nations through deregulation and innovation. We're going to have a lot of deregulation and a tremendous amount of innovation. It's just happening. Trump highlighted the scale of private sector deals already spurred by this new accord. This new accord is already helping spur a massive wave of private sector deals worth over $350 billion alone, headlined by a $136 billion from Blackstone. That's very nice, Steve. Thank you. The comment was directed at Steve Schwarzman, the Blackstone CEO, who was seated prominently. Trump teased him about his seat placement. That's why you have that location. I think it's considered the best seat all the year. Yours is pretty good too, Jensen. That's good. That's great, Steve. You know what you're doing better than anybody. The president then cited a key example of cooperation, a deal between American company X Energy and Britain's Centrica. American company X Energy and British company Centric has been announcing, and really for a long while they've been talking about this deal, the deployment of modular nuclear reactors across the UK. All across the UK, it's been in the wind for a couple of years, and now we're getting it done. He stressed the economic and social impact, generating more than $50 billion in economic value, creating up to 25,500 jobs and powering 1.5 million homes. That's a lot of homes. In invoking history, Trump tied today's ambitions to Britain's legacy of innovation. 7 decades after British genius Alan Turing pioneered the field, this agreement will also help America and our British allies dominate the future of artificial intelligence. He paused to underline the energy demands of AI. You need the energy. You have to have the energy. That's one thing I learned very quickly. They need a lot of electricity. In the United States, you need double what we have right now just to maintain that fight. Trump claimed the United States was ahead in the AI race. We're right now, and I want to say, leading China and the world by a lot in AI, and we're creating tremendous amounts of energy and letting you create your own electricity in many, many cases. Then he turned to one of his favorite themes, speed of approvals. We're giving you very rapid approvals. We're getting them approvals like they've never seen before. They used to wait 15 and 20 years to be rejected. Now they wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks to be accepted. That's a pretty big difference. He insisted that environmental standards were not being ignored. At the same time, we always have the environment in mind, but we move them along. Trump reiterated America's commitment to the UK. We're committed to ensuring that you have secure and reliable sources of American AI and quantum technology. We intend to always be the UK's strongest, closest, and most trusted business partner. Very important to us. The relationship is very important. Then, with a pivot to global perception, he told a story about Saudi Arabia's monarch. 1 year ago, our country was in serious trouble. The King of Saudi Arabia, great gentleman, you all know him. He said, "Sir, your country was dead 1 year ago, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world." Trump emphasized the scale of current investment, and it's true, we'll have more than $17 trillion invested in our country this year. 17 trillion, which is many, many times what we had last year, and we're only in our just about almost 9th month. It's moving along quickly. It's amazing. He admitted even he was struck by the pace. I was saying we're in our 3rd month, our 4th month, our 5th month, but his words trailed off, but the message was clear. The United States, in his telling, had gone from stagnation to acceleration in under a year. Beyond the quotes, the significance of Trump's remarks lies in the strategy. His speech painted the US-UK partnership as a cornerstone of Western industrial and technological leadership. By stressing AI, nuclear energy, and deregulation, Trump sought to frame the alliance as future-oriented rather than nostalgic. The $340 billion trade figure underscored continuity, while the May trade deal represented a symbolic milestone, Britain's first bilateral agreement under Trump's 2nd term. For farmers, manufacturers, and aerospace suppliers, the agreement promised tangible benefits. For Trump, it was a chance to showcase his trade-first agenda. The emphasis on modular nuclear reactors revealed his dual strategy, creating jobs while addressing the enormous energy demands of AI. Linking Alan Turing's pioneering work to modern artificial intelligence was both a nod to history and a rallying cry for future dominance. His repeated references to speed in trade deals, regulatory approvals, and private investments reflected his political brand. By contrasting decades of delays with 2 or 3 weeks to be accepted, Trump reinforced his argument that he was cutting through bureaucracy. The Blackstone investment of $136 billion and the ex-Energy Centrica nuclear deal were concrete examples, not abstractions. Together, they symbolized the scale of private capital mobilized under the banner of transatlantic partnership. And yet, Trump's narrative was not just about economics. It was also about rivalry. By insisting the US was leading China by a lot in AI, he signaled that technology was now as central to competition as military or trade policy. His anecdote about the Saudi king was typical Trump, mixing personal flattery with national pride. The idea of America as the hottest country anywhere in the world was not just a boast. It was part of a story he wanted investors and allies alike to believe. The audience, which included some of the most influential figures in business and technology, responded warmly. Trump's voice shifted between formality and banter, serious declarations and light teasing of executives like Steve Schwarzman and Jensen Huang. It was part rally, part boardroom, part statecraft. In the end, the message was unmistakable. The Anglo-American bond, built in war and diplomacy, was now being recast as a high-tech, high-investment partnership for the 21st century. For Trump, this was both politics and performance, a demonstration of America's centrality in the global economy and its determination to stay ahead in the race for innovation.